Good morning, everyone. How are you? Morning, guys. How are you?
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Are you guys good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think we should start because we might not finish and we might get kicked out. So I think we should start before we get kicked out for the next lesson. Can you guys see my screen and can you hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the previous week we actually learned about learning styles. So today we'll be focusing on school subjects related to career fields. It's still part of the world of work topic. So for you to be able to study or to go into a certain career field, you actually need to choose the correct or the right school subject. You cannot say you want to study medicine and you actually choose school subjects that are maybe part of accountancy, like things like your accounting and your economics and your business studies. So you need to choose relevant subjects like your mathematics, your life sciences, and physical sciences. So knowing the correct school subjects to choose, it's actually quite important because it shapes you into knowing where you want to go or to help you get to the career field that you want to go into. So just as your interests and abilities will determine the career field that suits you best, so too will your performance in or thanks to for a particular skill subject steer you toward a particular field of study. So if you do well in certain subjects, you'll be able to study certain careers or courses. So if you want to be a doctor and then your marks are just low, maybe you can be a nurse. So because maybe you just want to be in the field of medicine. So now doing well in certain subjects at school will determine where or which career field you can go into. Um, if you have a particular interest in a certain school subject, then this might be an indication of the career that would best suit you. No school can offer all subjects that a person can study. So no school can offer all the subjects. There's a lot of subjects. There's your technical drawing, there's your religious studies, there's your life sciences. Like there's a lot. There's art. So you no school can ever offer all of them. So when you go to say maybe high school or you're going to do grade 10 and you're choosing a school, you have to make sure that the subjects that the school offers or where you want to go, you have to choose a school that offers subjects that you want to study to help you with the career field that you want to venture into. Um, Primary schools usually offer a wide selection of subjects and deal with each subject in a basic or introductory manner. At high school level, the subject choices narrowed and the level and complexity of information increases. So when you're still in primary school, the the subjects are a lot. You guys know that you studying like a lot of subjects, most especially in senior phase. So you find that you have your EMS, you find that you have your social sciences, and social sciences broken down into its history and geography. You have mathematics, you have life orientation, natural science, and technology. So it's just to give you an idea of what you might have to choose from. So now when you're in this phase, in the senior phase, and you find that you do well in natural science, maybe you do well in mathematics. So when you go into grade 10, the FET phase, then you know that you will choose a subject that you excel in, and you know that you'll be able to do good in, and then you choose a career field that actually want your relevant subject. um Once tertiary education is reached, the general subject from high school are further refined, or more complex subject matters is introduced so that a specific career or job requirement can be met. Usually, career fields are associated with particular school subjects. Here's a selection that you might find useful. So, when you get to tertiary, whatever you learned in high school, it becomes more refined, it becomes a bit more narrowed down. So one example I can give you is if you want to be a doctor, or if you want to study medicine, so you find that at school you did physical sciences, you did life sciences, and you also did mathematics. So when you get to tertiary and you studying medicine, you will do things like your anatomy and physiology. You will do things like your pharmacology. You will do modules like pathology. So those become more complex and become more narrowed down, because now they have to make sure that you have knowledge when it comes to the requirement or the required knowledge needed for you to do that particular job. And then this is a table with the career field and school subjects that go hand in hand with it. Facts and figures. So with facts and figures, you need to have mathematics, physical science, accountancy, geography, history, and life sciences. So if you want a career maybe in business studies, you have to do accounting, economics, management, science, computers, technology, and mathematics. Whatever career field you want to choose, you must also remember that certain career fields actually do not allow you to study mathematical literacy. So when you come there, maybe you got a 96 in mathematical literacy. Yes, your marks are high. However, you might not even qualify because it's mathematical literacy and not mathematics. So you need to do thorough research when it comes to that, to make sure that whatever career field you choose will take whatever school subject, or the requirement is whatever school subjects you would have chosen for yourself. Um, Another career field is words, things like your journalism and your script writing or copywriting or public relations. So it's the school subjects are language, history, dramatic arts, religious studies. I know that say with journalism, if you don't have history as a school subject, you automatically do not qualify to study journalism at certain universities. So that's why I emphasize on the fact that you need to do thorough research. Most times, if you look at a university's prospectus, they normally put the app score that's needed, the subjects that are needed, and how you need to pass, or what percentage or what level you need to obtain to make sure that you actually qualify to do or to enter that career field, or to study towards the career that you want. And then the next one is visual and performing arts. You have to study school subjects like your visual arts, dramatic arts, and music. The next one is practical tasks. You need to have science, technology, visual arts, and geography. Physical active, as in like maybe kinesiology or biokinetics, those types. You need to have physical education, dance and movement, and dramatic arts. Um, Social and people skills. So it's dramatic arts, languages, religious studies, history, life orientation, and geography. Science and technology field. You need to have science, obviously. You have to study technology. I mean, it's the science and technology field. Geography, life sciences, and mathematics. Outdoors, plants, nature, animals, things like maybe a career field in agriculture. You need to have geography, biology, physical sciences, life sciences, sports, or physical education. So it depends on the exact career field. These are just examples that they are just broadened. So you need to know exactly the career field you want to go into and the exact subjects and the marks you need to obtain so that you can qualify to take maybe a course in university regarding or towards that career field. Now we'll move on to work environment and activities and careers. Various career can be grouped according to their environment. Work environment could mean, so now this is how they're grouped in according to their work environment. The geographical location of your job. Is it in the rural areas, in the city? Do you work from home, or in the urban areas? And then the second one is whether it is outdoors or indoors. Do you work in an office or do you work in the fields? And then the other one or the last one, and how in the category of how they're grouped according to environment, is whether you work in a factory, maybe in a cubicle or classroom, or at an office. So that's how they are actually grouped. Careers can also be grouped according to their primary activities. A few activities that are associated with some careers are like writing. Do you write at work? Do you solve problems? Managing. Are you able to manage? Organizing, filing, teaching, selling, socializing, creative thinking, designing, drawing, or working with your hands. So these are some activities that are associated with careers, or yes, primary activities that they can group careers in. Say creative thinking. That's where maybe you are a TV producer or maybe a script writer. So you need to be a creative thinker if you were going to choose a career in that field. Say writing. That's where journalism comes in. That's where copywriting also comes in, and marketing as well. So you also that's some of the examples that I can give you guys. Every career field has a specific work environment and activities. Within each career field, each career and job may differ in terms of environment and activity. Sometimes two jobs with the same name may take place in a different environment and vary somewhat from each other. Think about the environment and activities for one secretary at a law firm and another working at a school. So these people are both secretaries, but they work in two different environments. One works at a law firm, one works at a school. To determine which environment and activity suits you, you will have to investigate different fields. These two components are vital when you are thinking about your future career. You don't want to end up doing an activity that you love in an environment that you hate, and you don't want to be in an ideal environment doing doing activities that you hate. So the example of the two secretaries, you find that you love law and you studied being a secretary. So you might find that now you working at a school, you dislike the environment. You love the work, but you dislike the environment because you much rather be at a law firm. So you need to know the kind of environment as well that you can thrive in, like how certain people don't do well if they have a 9 to 5 job and they feel boxed and they feel like they're not happy because they don't like their jobs. So you need to make sure that when you choose a career field, it's something that you will also love doing and you wouldn't mind doing it almost every day. Maybe it will help you feel fulfilled. Maybe it will bring joy to you when you make a difference. So you need to know all those aspects as well. So the hyperlink here, you have this PDF on your LMS. So it's there. You can press on it or click on it, and then you will find it will take you to a website that lists many careers. You will find information on the education required in certain career fields, key skills that are needed, and key tasks or activities as well that are needed for that career field. Um, Select a few careers that you think would match your ability and interest and investigate those. Do research on those. If you think, okay, maybe being a vet because I love animals and all that, okay, let me investigate or do research on that. If I want to do kinesiology because maybe I love exercise science or movement science, maybe I can go into that field. So, or if you love law, maybe you can look into, you just do thorough research on things that you need, activities, the skills that are also needed. Um, Also, when you do that, when you choose those that you find interested or I mean interesting, or those you think you might want to do, select two that you think are unusual or that you have never heard of. Research these careers so that you broaden your knowledge of jobs and careers. So you just click on maybe two that you've never heard of, and then you're like, okay, let me do research on this. You might even find that they're interesting and you never knew about them. um so now we're moving on opportunities within each career field. Excuse me. Selecting a career can be compared to making an investment in a company that sells things. If there is no market for the things that you are selling, your company will not prosper, and sometimes you might actually work at a loss. In other words, before you select a career, you should make sure that there are employment opportunities. So you have to do research, guys, to make sure that there are actually employment opportunities. Check whether these opportunities will require you to move to another province or country, or whether you need to be a certain age, height, or have good eyesight. Um, if you don't have good eyesight, it wouldn't make sense for you to say you want to be a doctor and to be a surgeon, because you might cut at the wrong place because you don't have good eyesight. Make sure that if there is a demand for that particular job, there are enough vacancies. So when you do research, most times it will tell you that, oh, by year 2026 or year 20 whatever, um the need for this skill will be high and all those. So guys, do research on that, because sometimes there are too many people who are qualified to do a particular job. You should also think about whether the opportunities that exist now will still exist once you are qualified. Stay informed about changes in technology and communication, etc., so that you can modify your career selection if you need to. So, like I did say, that sometimes it will tell you that within a certain number of years, the need for certain career fields will be there, or it will not be there, because you find that in some universities they even cancel certain career choices. They will tell you, oh, we have a lot of people who are qualified and they're not getting jobs, and then, oh, we are facing this course out. And then challenges within each career field. If you interview anybody who is in a job they enjoy, they will find that there is some part of that job that they do not enjoy doing. This can be a huge challenge to do to job satisfaction, but most people who have made a good choice of career find ways of dealing with these minor interactions without them influencing their overall satisfaction with their chosen career. So you might find that um like everything in life, you won't be satisfied 100% of the time with something. So but if you choose a career that you love, the challenges that come with that, the minor challenges, you'll be able to deal with them, because 80% of the overall work you are satisfied with, you're happy with. um Many careers have challenges because they are very complicated, stressful, or difficult to do. One of the challenges that lawyers have to deal with, for example, is being able to cope well with public speaking. So, if you have a problem with public speaking, maybe it might not be the career for you, or you can invest in getting public speaking, maybe coaching, or maybe a course in that. Then you can actually eliminate your fear of speaking in public, and then you can continue with your career with being a lawyer. And then level of education required and duration of study. Not all careers require the same level of education. Some careers require specific level of education, while others require a combination of education and experience. There are also careers that do not require much formal education, and still others that require only experience and some in-service training. So when you choose a career field or what you want to do, you have to do research on these things as well. Um, how long are you going to have to study for? Do you need experience with that? Like now, if you want to be a nurse or a doctor, when you're done qualifying, you have to do community service, meaning you have to go do practicals at maybe a hospital or maybe at a clinic to make sure that you get the experience and you have the theory or the knowledge as well. Um, Careers that require formal education will usually require at least a national senior certificate or matric. Some some career will require a diploma or bachelor degree. This is called tertiary education, and duration of these courses is between 3 and 4 years. There are also some careers that require more than a diploma or bachelor's degree, such as honors, master's, or doctorate degree. This is called a postgraduate education. The duration of each of these courses vary from 1 to 5 years depending on the area of study. So if you say maybe you want to be a scientist, you need to have a PhD, so which means you need to have a doctorate degree. So, and it might take you whatever years, maybe 2 or 3 years, depending on the field of study and the amount of research you need to do and all that. So you guys, you need to do research while it's still now, to make sure that when the time comes, you have all the information needed for you to actually advance in the career field you want to get into. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
So all of you don't have questions.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So do you guys know what you want to study when you're done with school?
Not exactly, but I have an idea.
You have an idea. Mm-hmm. Okay, so most of you don't have an idea of what you guys want to do. You need to narrow it down to at least three different career choices. You need to ask yourself, what do I love doing? Oh, you want to be an au pair? That's nice. Okay. So you want to travel the world when you do your au pair services. So you want to. Okay, so you want to make sure that you ask yourself questions like, would I enjoy this? Would I enjoy doing this every day? Because you might enjoy doing it, but will you enjoy doing it every day? You should ask yourself those questions as well. So that you can also choose the correct careers now. If you know what you want to do, it becomes a bit easier for you when you go say grade 10 and you have to narrow down the school subjects you have to study for that career field. So you should ask yourself, do I like this? What kind of person am I? Because for some people with who are very social, they can actually do maybe study being a social worker, being a teacher, like people who talk a lot. Do you want to talk every day? Do you want to stand in front of people and teach every day? So you have to ask yourself those questions as well. Okay, guys. Um, I can't tell you what you must study. You have to know what you want to do first, so that when you actually go to grade 10, you choose the subjects that are in alignment with the career field you want to get into. Like I did say in the beginning, you cannot say you want to be a doctor and then study things like art, or religious studies. So when you get to grade 10, if you say you want to be in the health field, you have to study subjects like life sciences, mathematics, and all that. So that when you're done and you go into maybe in the health side of career field, you actually did study the relevant, or you did choose the relevant subjects that are needed. So those are required subjects that you need when you go to varsity to study whatever you want to study. I hope I answered your question, Owen. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you don't have any more questions or if you don't have any comments, okay, guys, bye, guys. Enjoy your week. See you guys next week.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, guys.